Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today we're going to be going into some great hidden and unknown, kind of rare and some out of print 4K Ultra HD Blu Ray sets that are from all over the world. And this is a new video series that I'm going to be going into, and based on if all of you really enjoy this video series, I'm planning on doing more of these, going through a lot of these hidden and rare titles from all over the world, because there's a lot of really good 4K Ultra HD releases that are released in all different territories all over the world that never get touched on or talked about or reviewed. So this is a new video series where I'm going to dive into a lot of these exciting and great releases that I've got tons of these that I've gotten from all over the world that are really titles that a lot of people just aren't aware that they can own on 4K Ultra HD. So this is something that's exciting and should give you a lot of information on titles that you probably weren't aware of were even available for you to buy. Now, if there's any of these titles that I'm going to cover in this video or any of my reviews that I do here on my YouTube channel that you decide you want to get any of these, I've done all of the work for you, and I've included all of the direct links to buy all of these in the description section and as a pinned comment in the comment section below. It never costs you even a penny extra when you click on those links, and that takes you straight out there to buy them, because a lot of these are very hard to find. But I've done all of that work and put all of those links down there right below for you. Now, the first title I want to touch on is House of Gucci, Ridley Scott's 2021 film that came out, and in the US we only ever got a Blu-ray release. Well, it was released on 4K Ultra HD in numerous territories around the world. Now, I got it on 4K after I'd gotten the Blu-ray and was kind of underwhelmed by the Blu-ray release. I just didn't think the Blu-ray looked really that great. So I got the 4K Ultra HD, and I will say I was happy with this release. It did look quite drastically better than the US Blu-ray release. It had much more detail and everything else involved with it, clarity and depth to that image. Now, this is a native 4K 2160p release. So the nice thing is it's not upscaled, it is a native 4K. And it does have HDR10 on it, which lends to why it looks so nice. I mean, this is more of a stylized Ridley Scott. Has a lot of those like muted colors, then it has some vibrant colors, then it has some tints to the filters, and overall it was kind of one of those films that it's meant to look a certain way on purpose, and it blends beautifully to that HDR10 that's on this, and it really deserved a 4K Ultra HD release, so I was glad it did get this release. Now, this does have English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio on it, and that is without any burned in subtitles whatsoever. You can choose the subtitles to be on or off, and as I always exclusively do, I tested the region codings on all of this, and 4K Ultra HD is 100% region free, though the Blu-ray that is in this set is region B locked. But if you already own the US Blu-ray, you have that option, but the 4K is really what you're watching this for anyways, and that's what's region free. So that made this one a winner, and I really enjoyed it and was glad I upgraded and got the 4K Ultra HD of this, because this film lended really nicely to the increase in details and obviously with that HDR. Now, to show you what you get in this, obviously, is your front cover. Side here it says House of Gucci, MGM, all in English. And then on the back here it talks about it with some of the extras that are listed on it as well. Now, when you get inside this, it was kind of cool. You get a red disc, it has the HDR logo, 4K Ultra HD, that's your region free disc. And then you get this little book in here that it's actually just a notebook for you to write in, but I didn't write in it, I just kind of kept it in there, but I thought it was kind of cool that they threw something in there. And then this is your Blu-ray disc. Now, House of Gucci is one of those that I do recommend on 4K Ultra HD. If you enjoyed this film at all, if you haven't checked out this film yet, I do recommend watching it on 4K Ultra HD because it does have a much better looking image, though I do wish it did have like Dolby Atmos on it or something like that. Though the audio mix is still very good on this, it's very easy to hear, there wasn't any issues with any lag or anything like that. Just kind of nitpicking, saying it would have been great to get Dolby Atmos on it anyways. But otherwise, this is a recommended, one of those kind of hidden titles that a lot of people were not aware of was released on 4K. One of my favorite 4K Ultra HD titles in my collection is The Princess Bride. Now, I did the review here on my YouTube channel a while back that you can go and check out. That's been available for quite a while now. When this initially came out, I got this in early and did my testing and review on this. And that's been available for a while, but this is one I get asked a lot about that a lot of people just aren't aware of, is released on 4K Ultra HD with a brand new restoration. And this is a classic 1987 kind of romantic comedy action adventure that is a wonderful piece of filmmaking that I absolutely love. And if you want to know more about it, make sure to go check out my review video. Now, any of these that you're wanting to pick up, as I said, I'll have them all listed down in the comment section below with links, so it takes you straight out there to get each and every one of these. Now, if you haven't done so yet as well, make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you never miss out on any of this fun, exciting, or exclusive content. Just like this video, I go into things and review things that nobody else ever talks about to make sure that I'm providing you content that is important and valuable about titles that you really need to know about to add to your collection. This is one of them. I loved the film. This is a great 4K Ultra HD release that you need to have in your collection. Next up is one of my personal favorite 4K Ultra HD titles. That's really one of those that was really limited edition. Now, I talked about this one probably about 4 or so years ago when I initially got it, and it went out of print really fast, and it's very difficult to find. If you do find it, it's so darned extremely expensive. But it is one of those that I think is really cool. I actually ended up getting 2 of them. This is my sealed one with the sticker on it, which I really liked. It says limited edition on it, and it truly was a very limited edition. Now, this one is a native 4K 2160p. It has HDR10 on it, and it also has English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 with English and German subtitles as options. Nothing's burned in. And this looked really good. Now, if you haven't seen this film, it's kind of like a John Woo askew 1995 action movie based on an anime, basically manga comic book. And it's one of those films that, no, it's not perfect, but it has a lot of charm, and for 1995, it really did fit into that look and feel of like those John Woo type films. I've always really enjoyed it, and this 4K is the best way to experience this film. It really is a nice presentation on this. Not meaning to tease you about this one, but I'll put what links are available of this. It's very difficult to ever find it for sale, and when it is, it's very expensive. But it is one of those really cool 4Ks in my collection that I love, and I was glad I got 2 of them when I did. But it has obviously the picture of the sword on the front, crying Freeman, says it all in English on the side here. Then it goes into all the special features. There was a ton of special features commissioned for this release, and it does have a Blu Ray in here. Now, your 4K Ultra HD disc on this is 100% region free as well. And the HDR10 implementation in this, because it's a native 4K with that stylized look, they have different colors and varying things in it, really made this pop and look really cool. So this is one of those rare out of print titles that a lot of people were just never aware of was released, very limited. It's never been reprinted ever again. So once it sold out, it was truly gone and is extremely rare. Another personal favorite film of mine by Robert Redford is A River Runs Through It. Now, in the US, we did have a Blu Ray release of this that went out of print many years ago. It's never come back into print by Sony. Now, this is the brand new 4K Ultra HD release that I actually got earlier last year, and I got 2 copies of it, one to save. Obviously, I like to do that sometimes when they're this rare, but this is one of those limited edition sets. And this was released actually in Germany, but it is a full English release. So it has English audio all throughout it. It's very easy to understand, and the whole thing is a great representation on 4K Ultra HD. Now, I will say there was some slight issues with the film grain fluctuations throughout it that I do feel like if they would have been worked on a little bit better, it would have made it look quite a bit better. But to be honest with you, I'm not complaining, because I'm shocked that A River Runs Through It ever got a 4K Ultra HD release ever, and it is a native 4K 2160p. And A River Runs Through It came out in 1992. It has Brad Pitt in it, and it's really one of those films that's a slower paced film that builds to a crescendo, but it's a beautiful thing about enjoying life and the piece of things that goes on in life, and I think it's a really beautiful film that I've always really enjoyed. And I think everybody needs to experience, though you need to go into it with the understanding of it is a slower paced Brad Pitt and Robert Redford directed film where you sit back, have a glass of wine or whatever, just enjoy the evening and enjoy the film. Now on this, it does get Dolby Vision and HDR10 and HDR10 Plus. The Dolby Vision and the HDR10 Plus look really good on this. Now the HDR10 was fine, but the HDR10 Plus and the Dolby Vision on this were really fantastic looking. And like I said, other than the slight things I noticed with issues with the film grain, there was some slight clumping and reef blocking with them because I felt like that could have been worked on a little bit better. But from a smaller studio that released this, I'm amazed that we even got this on 4K, and it does come with a Blu Ray in it. The 4K Ultra HD is region free, and it does have English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 for the audio mix. No issues whatsoever, no lag or issues with the audio mix on it in English at all either. So I really did enjoy a river runs through it and thought it was a recommended 4K that a lot of people just aren't aware of is even available because the Blu Ray went out of print in the US so long ago. And overall, the presentation is well worth the price of admission, and this is one of those cool 4Ks you'll have in your collection that it's very beautifully filmed with the cinematography behind it, that it looks great on 4K, that even with those hiccups with the transfer, I'm still glad I have this one in my collection because it is a great 4K that is fun to watch and sit back and have a good time watching a good piece of filmmaking. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you never miss out on any of this exclusive content that you're only ever going to find to watch here on my YouTube channel. Next up, we have the 1984 classic film, The NeverEnding Story. I get a ton of questions about this one. A lot of people are shocked this is even on 4K. And I did the review originally here on my YouTube channel that if you want more details about this release, make sure to go check out that review video. It's available right now to watch here on my YouTube channel. But this is one of those that I was really excited got a 4K Ultra HD release. I loved the film growing up. It's a classic 80s film. This 4K is the only 4K release of this film anywhere worldwide. I got a lot of complaints originally, people saying, well, it doesn't include that song in it actually in the film. What they did is basically in Germany, that song is a special feature with the music video on it. Still includes the orchestral soundtrack the way it's meant to be. It's just that song itself is kind of missing from a couple of those scenes in it, especially at the end. But other than that, the release is such a good release, especially the restoration looks really good on this, that I'll let this song go to the wayside. The more I've watched this over and over again since I made that original review video, the more it's grown on me, and I'm glad to have this on 4K. So it is one of those things when you watch my review video and I say, man, I wish that song was included. I do, but the more I've experienced this, because it's never been released by anybody else on 4K, and this looks so much drastically better than the Blu-rays did, I'll take this 4K the way it is over the Blu-rays any day, even though the song I have to go into the special features to watch it and to listen to the song in the music video. But that's okay. This is one of those you need to have in your collection because you'll really be surprised at how good of a 4K release this is. Another 4K Ultra HD release. Now this is The Death Wish with Bruce Willis from 2018. Now, this is one of those films that some people said they didn't like, some people said they did like. I liked it. I thought it was actually a decent performance by Bruce Willis before he got into kind of his, I don't know, cheesier, kind of sounds like he's stone-faced dead roles where he really doesn't act in a lot of his later films before he basically retired and quit from acting. This was one of those that I did enjoy and thought he did a pretty good job in it, and I thought his acting was pretty decent. Now, does it hold up considering to the original Death Wish? No, they're completely different films. You can't compare the two in my opinion. This has to be held up on its own because it's its own thing. I mean, Eli Roth, the director, was going for his own thing on this, and I did like Bruce Willis, and some of the supporting cast is really good in this. So I was really excited that this did get a 4K Ultra HD release. Now, this release I have right here is actually the 4K region-free one. There is numerous releases of Death Wish that are the 4K discs are region locked. I've talked about them numerous times over the years on this YouTube channel. A lot of people give a hard time because they don't understand why I test 4K Ultra HD discs just like I test region free or region locked Blu-ray discs. It's because of this exact reason. There's about now 14 or 15 titles, if I remember correctly when I did that video many years ago, that are region locked around the world. And there have been some random companies that have either accidentally or on purpose region locked their 4Ks. Death Wish was one of those titles that in numerous other territories was region locked. This is the region-free version. I will list the region-free version down in the description section right below this video as a pinned comment and in the description section, as I mentioned earlier. This is the one that's region free. The other ones in a bunch of the other territories are region locked to region B. So it's an odd thing. They weren't supposed to region lock them, but that is why I test everything exclusively all of the time, because there's numerous companies, and there's actually been some in the US of A, in USA here, that have region locked their 4K discs, and some people in Europe then got it and found out it was region locked. And that is why I always test everything, because I've actually found some in the US that are region locked. So keep that in mind. There's a specific reason I always exclusively test everything, because of that reason alone. But Death Wish got a 4K Ultra HD. It looks good, drastically better than the Blu Ray did in the US, and it is an upscaled 4K though. And even though this is an upscaled 4K from a 2K source, it still looks really good, and I was impressed with how good this actually looked, better than the Blu Ray did. And on top of that, it's got Dolby Vision and HDR10, which lended to why it looks so much better on this 4K than the Blu Ray did as well. Now on this, it does say Death Wish in English on it, Bruce Willis. It says Death Wish on the side, MGM's logo. On the back here, it's a mixture of English and things. It's got audio commentary, behind the scenes, deleted scenes, extended scenes. And then when you get inside here, you do get your 4K Ultra HD disc. That's 100% region free in this set. Your Blu-ray disc does say region B on it, and that is correct. It is region B locked. But the 4K Ultra HD disc is what we're in this for, and that's where you get that Dolby Vision and HDR10 that really helped the image on this look so much better. I really liked it. I thought the color variances, the lights to darks, it was a fun film on 4K, and I thought it lended to making it look so much better than the drab Blu-ray did. I really felt like the Blu-ray release that we got was just overall drab and dull. This really looked nice with that Dolby Vision, and the Dolby Vision was the winner on this one. Now audio-wise on this, you do get English, DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 as well, and there's no burn-in subtitles. You get the option of turning them on, turning them off, no issues whatsoever with that. And again, I enjoyed the film. This is one I recommend if you haven't gotten it on 4K. This was a fun one to have in my 4K collection, and I'm glad to have it on 4K because it wasn't released on 4K in the US, and it's probably never going to be because this was many years ago. Heck, the film came out in 2018, and I've had this 4K for many, many years now. Now, touching on real quickly a couple of not great 4K releases with Bruce Willis in them. I just wanted to mention these because this is Cosmic Sin, and this one here is Anti-Life or Breach. It had numerous titles no matter where you lived around the world. They called it Breach, Anti-Life, Anti-Life Equation. There was numerous titles for this one. These are what I was talking about with Bruce Willis in his later career days when he kind of just mumbles through it. A lot of times you can't even understand what he's saying. He looks like he's kind of drunk throughout the entire films. Heck, his characters are kind of playing drunk characters throughout the entire films, but neither one of these are amazing sci-fi films. Neither one of these are amazing films. I did not love them. The only reason I'm bringing them up is to try to kind of throw in something so you understand that not every film do I love that I get from all around the world. These were both limited to 2,000 copies each. They were extremely limited edition 4K Ultra HD releases. So I got them. I was excited initially because I hadn't seen the films. And then when I watched them, I was less excited. I actually wasn't excited at all. I really didn't like the films. Anti-Life was slightly better than Cosmic Sin was, but both films were below B grade, like just overall cheesy dialogue, cheesy special effects, really wooden acting, wooden dialogue. I don't have much great to say about these. And to be honest with you, Anti-Life or Breach looked decent. It's an upscaled 4K, but Cosmic Sin looked horrible on 4K Ultra HD. I mean, not that the Blu-ray looked great anyways, but the 4K Ultra HD release of this was not great. It has blocking, banding, digital noise issues. It has audio sync issues. Overall, the 4K Ultra HD release was really horrible on this. This one, I would say it's okay, though the film's not that great, so I don't know that I'd waste my money on it unless you're just a big 4K collector. Just wanted to kind of point these out. These are kind of in that area of Bruce Willis's just kind of like zombie phase, I almost call it. But they both do have English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 on them. They both are upscaled 4Ks, and they both do have HDR10 on them, and they're both 100% region-free 4K releases. But again, I don't recommend these, so I know this is going in my recommended, basically great list, but I just want to throw these in so you know about some other 4Ks that I just don't recommend getting unless you're just absolutely the biggest collector and have to own everything. I guess you could get these. I'll post the links down below, but that's about the best I can say about these. Now, getting to one of my personal favorite and rarest hidden gem 4K Ultra HDs in my collection. I talked about Crying Freeman. This one is even rarer, and just most people never even knew this was ever released. I think this was available for maybe a month. I literally had pre-ordered it. I got it in. I was gonna make a video about it a few years ago, and before I even had time, it literally showed up on my doorstep. It was gone, sold out, and they never printed it again. This is Earnest Hemmingway's The Killers. Now, Don Siegel directed this. It has Lee Marvin in it, Ronald Reagan, John Cassavetes, and Angie Dickinson. And it's really one of those 60s noir films that is just so good. It came out in 1964, and in the US, we've gotten a Criterion Collection Blu Ray release that I own. When I heard this was coming out on 4K Ultra HD in a limited edition set, I ordered it right away a few years ago. And I'm really glad I did, because it sold out right away and they've never reprinted it. Now, there's a few, very few copies I've seen available when I was going through and getting the links for these, but they're super expensive. I mean, heck, when I saw them, they were like 180 bucks. I think I saw one person had it for like 101 or 109 bucks plus shipping. It's extremely expensive. 4K Ultra HD release was so good, and I really was shocked at how good of a job they did with this. This is presented in a native 4K 2160p. It does have HDR10 on it, which lends great to this film, and it really looks drastically better than the Criterion Collection Blu Ray that I own. The film grain on it is stable through most of it. It really blended beautifully with this new scan and restoration they did with this. There's so many things that were repaired on this, even more so than the Criterion Collection Blu Ray had. Now, obviously with the HDR10, the depth to that image with the color variances, the lights to darks, really helped this out great. But it's mostly the story of killers. I mean, that's why it's called The Killers. But obviously on the front here, it's in German. And it's based on a classic novel, which is Ernest Hemingway's novel. And it's got some really great performances in it overall. And I have some other really great news for this release. It had English DTS HD Master Audio 2.0, which is a brand new audio restoration they did for this as well. And it sounded really good on the audio side of it. Now I'll show you kind of how this comes. It comes in a big book here. It says The Killers on the side in German. Has a bunch of mixture of English and German on the back here, talking about all the extras, bonus features, the booklet that comes on this, that this is a universal official release. And this was the only release that ever came out of it. It was never reprinted again. You do get 2 Blu-ray discs with obviously your films and extra bonus features. The Blu-rays are Region B locked though. Those I did exclusively test. Then you obviously get inside here a nice booklet that talks about the film, which you need obviously, like I talk about, I use that Google app where it's Google Translate. You hold it over it and it reads through it. It's got posters talking about the film, behind the scenes in here. Then when you get to the back here, it's got more artwork. This is your 4K Ultra HD disc. That is 100% region free. No issues playing this whatsoever. And it really does look outstanding. I was really impressed with the overall image of this. And initially I was going to make a review originally, like I said. I was just disappointed it sold out that fast, because it's hard to do a lot of reviews on these things that sell out so fast and were so limited, because then people say, oh, I can't get a hold of it, or I can't get it, why'd you make the review, things like that. And it seems like people just will complain about just about anything. It seems like sometimes that's the hardest part of sometimes being a reviewer on YouTube is the amount of complaints that it could be the smallest little thing. Somebody's going to complain about it, and it kind of gets old, all the complaints. So that's why sometimes I don't do reviews on certain things, especially if they go out of print. But this is one of those. That's why it's going in this video, because it's about rare, hidden, and out of print titles. So this is one of those that is a really cool one that I love having in my collection, because it is one of those stellar 4K releases that I wish it would have been in print longer, because I wish every single one of you could own this, because it's such a cool, like I said, 60s, like killer, noir, just really just got a great feel to the film. And this 4K should have been a wider release, but it's been out of print now. I think this was about 2.5, 3 years ago was the last time when I'd ordered it, and that was when it actually went out of print. So they've never reprinted it, and I've never heard that anybody else is doing anything with this. But man, this is one that I really enjoy in my collection. If you want to spend a ton of money for it so you can own it, like I said, I'll put what links are available down below. It's just you're going to have to pay a darn pretty penny to get a hold of this one now. One last little tidbit about this, I did do some of my exclusive testing on the rough average bitrate on this, and this was what made it lend so beautifully to how nice the image was on this. It did have a rough average bitrate of a very high 80 megabits per second. It was really, really high throughout most of the entire film. Very surprising. Let me know how much fun you had with this video today and start that conversation in the comment section below. Let me know if you really enjoyed this new video series that I'm diving into. I am going to have more of these coming out here in the future. This is obviously number one or part one, however you want to call it, but I'm planning on doing more and more of these in the future because I have so many titles that I get from all over the world that, just like in this one, you saw there's dozens of these that nobody talks about and most people don't even know are available on 4K. And there's some really good ones out there and there's some really bad ones. I'll try to throw in every once in a while some that aren't so great into these videos. That way you get some that, hey, maybe these ones aren't so great, but here's some ones that are great. That way it's kind of a mixture of both of those, but they're going to be things that are just like these, a lot of hidden, rare, some out of print. I'll try to mix in the out of print ones. Just do maybe one or two each video so there's not too many of those, that you can still get a lot of these. And that's what I tried to do with this one, is just kind of give you a bunch of ones that there's a lot of these you can still buy and a couple that are out of print. That way you get an idea of some cool things that maybe you can add to your collection if you want to save up to get some of those. Let me know what of these you're excited to get, what of these you didn't know were even on 4K, and what of these you want to get now. Make sure to start that conversation down there in the comment section below. Let me know if you're going to buy any of these. Now that you know about them, you're excited to get these and own these yourselves. And I always love to hear from all of you, as long as you're not constantly complaining, which I know I'm not trying to bring that up again, but sometimes there seems to be some people that every comment I get is always a complaint about something. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be the sky is blue when it's a complaint. So if it's constant complaining, don't leave the comment, because to be honest with you, that gets really, really old. But otherwise, if you're just chatting, you have things to talk about, go right ahead. Just remember, I'm a human being as well, so the constant negativity does drag me down over time, and I try to keep a positive attitude, even if something isn't a good release like I talked about in this video, those couple that I didn't like. I don't like to focus on them too long because, you know what, there are a lot of really good ones out there that we should be talking about. So let's talk about those, have a good time. If you're wanting to pick up and add any of these to your collection, make sure to use those links I posted down in the description section below. You'll have a very hard time trying to find any of these on your own. That's why I've done all the work for all of you. Those links down there never cost you even a penny extra when you click on them. They do help to support this YouTube channel just a tiny bit though. So make sure to click on those links down below. As always, make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Don't forget to give this video a like and a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. If you enjoy all of this content I work really hard to create here on my YouTube channel, just like this video with all this exclusive content, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club. That is the best way possible to support the creation of these videos. And that is one of the main reasons I can keep continuing to create all of this content that you enjoy watching. It's always through my Collectors VIP Club support. Every member on there gets special badging next to their name. They get special perks and benefits for being a Collectors VIP Club member. But that goes straight back into this YouTube channel. Those few dollars when you join that Collectors Club really make a difference in the creation of every one of these videos, and that's the only way I can always continue to do this, is through all of you, my viewers and subscribers' support. So that Collectors VIP Club is extremely important. As always, I hope all of you truly have a blessed day and you had fun with this video today. And I've always got something new and exciting coming out very soon.